knows I'm not Ojibwe, I'm not Soto, I'm Anishinaabe. And I'm going to talk about these things in Cree. They went tam tago kinehio pigisco no kinehio no. And nanaskomon, kaya pats kinehio pigisco no apatihtaik. I just wanted to mention how important our connection. I'm not here to tell you who you are. I'm only here to remind you what was given to us. Our own education structure, how the Creator has put everything together, like a puzzle. In the language. In a hiawek. I go to and to I see no way to as a skiam at the system. I scare no and to I see no who take it back and go here. It's part of this world what I'm going to talk about, but it's after the flood and we were separated. Only God can separate us, not Daniel Smith in Alberta. So, again, keep in mind, I'm not here to tell you how you're connected to this, what I'm going to talk about. I'm here to talk about our own origin, where our identity began. And the reason why I know this, because we have our archive ceremony that even talks about the treaties that were made, clans to clans. White people, they say nation to nation. And we ran, that's why we ended up in the mountains, to protect the archive of ourselves. The print, the puzzle that was put together by the Creator himself. Nobody in between. See, when the Creator wrote these things in land symbols or in the sky, the constellations, it's himself, nobody else. See, if somebody writes something, it has to be himself. So that's what the Creator did. He put these symbols himself on the land about us to remind us of who we are and our connection and our relationship to the land. So I want to put the first PowerPoint up. I just wanted to mention, and some people talk about this area, where he has put these symbols about us. Utaskik, egi astat. This is not the only one. On this side, there's a woman, and I'll bring that up later on. So none of this that we learn in the education world, that they say that the rib was taken from the man to create a woman. That's not so on us. Everybody leaves this world the same way, a woman and a man. These symbols that were put here by the Creator himself, no man wrote these things, right? If God wrote something, it's himself, nobody else. So that's why sometimes I want to know if God wrote some things So the things that I'm going to talk about that he wrote himself. And that includes everything about us. Every little detail out there, it's a puzzle. Like that tree, it's a puzzle. Everything that he has taken from the land, we're part of it. We are the land. That's why you look at this, you'll see a face. That face is huge. From the chin to the forehead is 14 kilometers. That's how huge it is. And he put this himself. And there's a woman there too. It wasn't only a man, it was a woman too. That's why when somebody leaves this world in the past, got our own relatives, the body goes back to the land where it was created from. Because the body has to stay here. And the spirit. That's why he created us up in the sky. That's why us in our language we say nisina be. And I'm going to show that too. Where the symbols are the man and the woman. And that's why in our language it's very important. Let's say if I say ke ogana hiawik, utuesun ksemanto, we ape, we agana, we aschige, we asquasta, we asquisum uspagan. See that we are as we are soil, right? Every word that you say, it belongs to your connection. So Prime Minister Elliott Trudeau said, one of these days, when we defeated the 69 white paper back in the 870s, you know what Prime Minister Elliott Trudeau said? Maybe you defeated us now, but in the future, you're not going to speak your language. That means you're no longer a native to this land. You're going to be one of us. And we're getting there. So that's when now he said, I'm going to bring the Constitution across. So the Constitution came across in 1982, and we weren't on it. Because we weren't born in Europe. We were born here. And they put a little section there, Section 35 in the Constitution. The reason why they put that there, because our chiefs today are going to go say, well, we need the province to help us. Then when we go there, then you give them authority to this land. Then they're going to do legislations. That's what's going on right now. That's what's going on where I come from, Alberta. Our premier wants to separate. Well, I'll go into that later on, because to understand this is very crucial. It's very important. Some of you remember the Transparency Act. It was you guys here. Wallace Fox got charged, failing to comply, right? Onion Lake. I was the cultural advisor on that. I was the one guiding him, telling him, and we defeated Prime Minister of Canada, Stephen Harper, 2013. You guys remember it? And there's where it came from. Tapoge tamanigigwe. And after that, Wallace made sun dances, right? Because it's the governance. The governance of our side. Not the Munio side, but our side. It worked. Those 5 chiefs that got charged, they proved that you guys, the Indian trust money, is administered by the government. That's why your nation can go directly to the Treasury Board for Indian trust. I'm always proud to talk about Onion Lake because you guys made it. For these children of tomorrow. So I'm going to go into this, the presentation that I'm doing, the symbols that I talk about Cypress Hills. And you can go out there on the land and you can see it yourself. You can prove it to yourself it's connected to the land that you were created from. Then, and the Creator took that organ to put it in your body. So that's what I want to see. You know, we were told these are bad medicines, right? There's no such thing. Why would God put something in your body if it's going to be bad, right? As long as you believe in that, now you're going to have Western medicine. That Western medicine's not going to heal you. It's going to numb you till such a time that your organs stop working, right? And that's what's happening. You know, if you bring these back, the pharmacists are not going to like this because you're actually going to heal. I know people that are in dialysis that use these medicines because its Creator put it there. It actually helped them. They don't have to transplant the kidney. They actually heal the kidney back the way it's supposed to be. Same thing with, I had a massive heart attack before Christmas. I signed myself out, went and got the medicine, and I'm still drinking it today, and didn't have to go to the surgery, right, to put the pacer or something in my heart. I'm still here. I'm feeling okay. So, these are the kind of things, if you start going back to your own medicines, pharmacy's not going to like it. Because what did they say? Now we discovered these natural medicines. Lots of them are using it now, okay? They're figuring out these medicines actually working. One way, the pancreas, the other one, the one on the outside, that's why our own people, if they use this, and you guys know it, and niananete musoftogyuche ping sigata na kiaota waskata mogut sigata. See. It's a lily pad. Underneath there's the pancreas, which is part of your organ. Today, there's a lot of people that need this because it is the one When you're sugar diabetic, this is the one you need to heal. And the negative is going to attack the spirit. You're going to start losing your limbs up this way, right? Like the tree. Because the spirit is down this way, not up this way, down here. That's why people, when they're diabetics, they either having problems with their kidneys, their heart, their pancreas. And these are the things that the Creator has put in our bodies. And they're on the land. And a lot of you probably know these medicines. But they're going to heal you. You never have to go to using those pills just to numb you. It's actually going to heal you. I wanted to bring. We're having a cultural conference back home, and I'm bringing my grandson, Dr. Makokas. Me and him, we usually do presentations together on health. And these are the things that we talk about. How the Western medicine sometimes, it does work, but only for a short time. But these things, they actually heal you. Ako magantik, these are the things that we need to keep in mind. So I'm going to go to another one. Semanto eutinak, especially those of you that speak Cree. Ukemawatik, those of you that go to sun dances, there's a center tree, right? We call it Okemawatik. Okemawuskana, right? Which is where the Creator has taken the soil, the tree, to create our bones. Ewako mayakana mystic. Egoche, if you use this, and that medicine that's inside of that tree, when I have a bad, what they call it, ankylosing spondylitis, the worst in arthritis, the highest in arthritis. I couldn't move. I couldn't even go like this. My fingers were like this, twisted. My toes were twisted like this. My back was like this. And I was walking like this. I couldn't straighten out. Feel good. And they call it Noshkwaswan in Cree, right? And between that tree, you can take the bark off, but inside there, in Noshkwaswan, right? That inside of that tree, there's another layer of medicine. That's the one you use. You can chew it or you can drink it. And that's what I used. So my body went straight, my fingers went straight, I can move my fingers. But already back then, the doctor did a surgery on my neck, so they couldn't really straighten that out because there's bars there. But what if I could have used that? I got hurt in the sawmill, so I had no choice because I was brought to Calgary Hospital. So anyway, I just wanted to mention that. That's why we say Okemawiskana, Okemawa. And it's all connected to all the winged ones, Minagiano, everything that's connected to this. That's why those leaves, kasamuganta, that including the rattle. Naga keo gagi mi gosiek, kaskoiek da patseha egana, that rattle. Egotse, ia pinan that the sewe aston on here. You ever been in a Sundance and sitting there? Those leaves, they make that rattling noise. Get the way aston on here. So anyway, I just wanted to mention how we're connected to all these things. So keep in mind how we're connected to everything, how we're part of this land. So that's why I was showing Cypress Hills, I see Niwatinao. And it's here, not too far from Medicine Hat, Alberta. Medicine Hat is just down. You go on this line here, Saskatchewan border, just a little bit this way, right? So maybe about 10 minutes off of Saskatchewan border by Medicine Hat. That's where it is. Hey, walk, kiwegota, the lakes. There's 4 lakes that were put there, and in that area, we'll go to another presentation. Wakomagantik, when the Creator took the strands and him Ochiese. That's why for us in Hinton, when somebody passes on, tahkonam, we kask. Antegi ucha pihkate guakse manto, to keep the body intact. White people call it the muscle. But the Creator took that strand to keep the body intact, and he braided the muscles. So if you ever get an x-ray, look at your muscles. They're braided like this. So when we talk about the treaties, we'll go into this. How we're related to this land. So after this today, if somebody ever asks you, oh, Nokum, my mom, or your great-grandson or your great-granddaughter, how did we become to be? You just can't say, I don't know, right? You're going to have to let them know because they're the future of tomorrow. As we all know, the government doesn't care about our own children, right? If we're going to depend on the government to care about our children, they're never going to care about our children. I think we heard a lot of children that went missing, and a lot of children that are damaged today. And they're called survivors, right? So is he going to care about the children of tomorrow? No. He wants to take away the children of tomorrow, their land. So we better know our side of, especially if we become elders. We need to understand ourselves, because there's no way the government's going to care about these children. The government wants to take away their land. And I can tell you that they did this already. It's called Niska First Nation in BC. They have no home to go to. They have no reserve. They have no land. They have no houses anymore. They have no treaty. At least here we still have status. Ako magantik, it did happen. It happened in our homeland. I just wanted to remind you, we need to understand our education structure. See, our education structure is a puzzle. It's not a system. The system that came to us from Europe, it's not ours. Utau mau istaigiastat kemanto, igiskino hamagiono, igimasinastat. See, our own education, it's a puzzle. That's why the symbols I'm going to talk about, they're in different places. You guys probably know Chief Mountain is over here, right? By state's border. You probably know that for Saskatchewan, it's in Sweetgrass, Saskatchewan, inside that reserve, right? You probably know the ones in Peterborough, Ontario, the puzzles that are and they guess that like ni teikia peta ukossa at semanto, and that's the one they called Mantua pit. And out of that, Monia, they called it Manitoba. But there's symbols there. And they give it ana guisakechak. Masina stewe gutta utapion. Masina stewe gutta anma pansigi gwegis pemi gwakuta. All those symbols, they all have connection to us. So that's why you young people learn these things because I might not be here myself. That's what the elders used to say. Right? A lot of these things. Right? And these things are for here. Those are not needed up there. They're needed down here. Ego chinwako magantik. Kagwe gasti tinamok. Anhikigwe tanse gisimigo siakigwe. So we have to watch English language too. The English language sometimes can be confusing to our young people. So if I say Native history, you guys are not history. You're still here today. The land is still here, right? Everything is still here. So when we use these words, we're saying we're no longer here because we're history, right? And that's what the government wanted, for us to be history, right? So when somebody uses history, I disagree with you. Because what we're seeing here, it's still here today. And I'm stick, it's still here. I just wanted to mention that. Uwe maskusia, antigagyo pigistat ksimanto. I talk about Mihkumina. I know when I was having breakfast there, they talk about etigi satihtiigegwa, the berries, Saskatoons, and we all know the Guayminana choke cherries are not going to be ready till late August. But these berries were put here by the Creator Himself. And we all know that. You can walk into that bush and there's going to be berries. And we didn't put them there. Creator did. The first blood was Mihkumina. In our language, so we in your language, it says Mihkumina. It talks about the blood. Mihkwe is blood. And the Mihkumina. And you women were given that responsibility to take care of these. So how many of you, when you have a baby, you take that placenta and they peso ashotanawasis? How many of you take that belly button, right? And the placenta, do we connect that child? Right? Because that's where it was created. It's going to be the memory. It's called the blood memory. So that's why anything that happens in the past is going to be passed on to the next generation. Because it has a memory. So, the first people that were created from Cypress Hills, the organs, the tree I'm talking about, and the connection. So far what I'm talking about, it's about you. It's about the land. It's about the bones that were created. It's about your blood. It grows on the land. It's part of you. The muscle, it grows on the land. And somebody talked about this morning how tall those sweetgrass are growing. But where we come from, back home, they're really tall. Speaking on, I say. So, when we talk about this, women and boys, it's called Egisu Piketanawasis. Egisu Piketanoskinixko. Egisu Piketanapesis. Now it's becoming a man, right? The rite of passage. Then we need to do something again. So we can connect that child. So we can connect that young man. So if we don't do that, the direction, it's not going to be there. See, when you gave us this life, you women, it was physical and the spirit. That's why when somebody passes on, we honor that spirit. It's with us every day while we're alive. So, the first people, in our language, I don't know anything about Adam and Eve. Across the ocean, I don't know nothing about them. But I know a little bit about us here in our homeland. That's why they're the visitors of us. They come and visit us. So it's up to us to take care of them. But we'll go into that later on. Like, I don't want to take much of you guys' time, because I know you have another presenter that needs to do a presentation. But I just want to remind you our connection. And if you use that, you're not going to fail. Creator has given you something not to fail. Just like how you don't fail us when you bring us to this world. Because it's you women that give us the life. It's you woman that start the heartbeat. It's you woman that gives us the growth to be here. So we need to speak for the ones that cannot speak for themselves, which is the children, and also the clans. So I know that umaminstik, we're related to everything. We're related to that tree. We're related to the land. It's not like my mom, my dad, my brother, my sister, my cousin. See, Monia it's cousin. Kia no. Nico says, Nitanis, Norsisim, Dansku Pitsigan, Danskutapan, Dansku Pitsigan, Nichakus, Nistim, Nisis. It's that way, right? Monia it's cousin. Magi way, no relationship at all. Kia no, eki wako taigo yak. Minate swako tamake swako migoyaki. We don't have that. How are we going to succeed? The Spirit has guidance. The Spirit has directions. The Spirit has prevention. The Spirit has protection. The Spirit has success. Maragi spend just the physical itself, we're not going to succeed. So if we follow that only one side, we're going to fail. We're going to fail these kids in the future. And that's what happened in Niska. It's happening right now. And our visitor is coming to our land, wants to separate us. So, how come our visitor can come and do that in our land? How come the government can make the laws for us? How come the government can make the rules for us? There's a visitor. Tanto giuka tagugnia, tanto wihtamato, si sa tatuta make. So matesip matsiek. I will never do that. On top of that, you won't allow me to do that. But we're allowing our visitor to do things the way they want to do things. See, that's why I agreed to step up when the government came after you guys here. Prime Minister Stephen Harper. Kikipaskyo, because we use these, we are swell na. Kasi man to a swell na taga tatipistagwa kumaski, umamenstik. But I just wanted to talk about that a little bit, because anything that he wrote himself It's himself, nobody else. And you're part of it, your relationship. And that's up to you. So today, when I finish doing the presentation, I'm not telling you you should believe this. Creator gave you for you to decide for yourself. Creator never said, you believe this or else. He never said that. He said, I gave you everything that you need. It's up to you if you're going to use it. So it's up to you to get these kids named. As a mother, as a father. Kia. As a grandmother, it's up to you. As a grandfather, it's up to you. You decide. That's why these symbols, the way they are. So I just wanted to talk about Taneke. People talk about what is that? What is that noise? I thought it's a big wind or something. Okay. That's why we have the ones that fly, they don't make noise. Yeah. I didn't tell them yet to record it. Yeah, I'm going to tell them when they can. What they do, fly around here? So I just wanted to complete this presentation, then we'll take some break.